Alright, here we are in my closet. This is the overflow box that I bought, or I have. This is the sump that I have, or Refusion. They have a newer version of one of these out that I'd like to get, but mine's working fine, so I'm not going to right now. Anyways, let's go take a look at the tank, and I'll explain how the thing works. Alright, so right here is this is the return hose, the return line, returning water from the sump to my tank. You can see, I'll raise it up, that's the water coming out of it. Pretty hard. You see that little stream right there? I'll explain what that is in a minute. Alright, so basically, it comes from the sump. Alright, well, let's go down here to the sump. Here's the sump. So, this gray line is the return line from the overflow box. The overflow line, whatever, it flows down and goes into here, the first chamber, down into there. That chamber holds the skimmer. Here's a Refusion with Chaeto and live rock, and there's a lot of little copepods and anthropods and all kinds of little stuff living down there. You can see tons of them right there. But they feed my mandarin goby. They work their way through this filter right here down into the return section, where this is the return pump. That's what flows up to that return hose we were just looking at a minute ago over here. So it runs through there, fills the tank up, therefore this fills that overflow box up right there. You see the little grits cut in it. It flows through there, flows into this box, goes up through this U channel right here, up and flows all the way over. That U channel holds a siphon. So once it runs through that, it just runs back down into the tank, down into there. So the main reason people don't like these overflow boxes is they could flood. For instance, if your pump cut off and water just kept draining out of the tank into the sump, people's sump would overflow. Or if the U channel was pulled out and water wasn't going back into the sump and the return pump kept pumping water back into the tank would overflow. So how this is set up right now is you can see the water level right here in the return pump section, and this is the rest of the sump. So basically, if it stopped the siphon in the U-tube, this chamber would pump out. No more water would come in because it couldn't get over this little baffle here. So it would just pump this much water back into my tank, which my tank can hold. I've tested it numerous times. Yeah, so therefore it wouldn't flood that way if it broke the siphon. I would do it now, but it puts a lot of micro bubbles in the tank and it's a pain in the butt. But basically, if I just took this U-tube right here and pulled it out, it would break the siphon, which I will show you once I have the pumps turned off, how that works. So now if my return pump stopped working or the power went out, I'll demonstrate what that does. So here on my Apex, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the return pump. Boom. Now you can see in here, look at the water. It's cruising, it's filling up. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and turn the skimmer off too, because it will go crazy if I don't. Alright, the skimmer's off. As you can see, it's filling up pretty quick. A lot of people's sumps only come to like right here, and if that was the case on this one, I would be in trouble. But I have tons of room. Anyways, you can hear that noise right there. That was that little stream of water coming out. What that's doing is allowing water or air to get into this little hole to stop a siphon that was flowing back down into the sump. If that hole wasn't there, you could drain a lot of water. Everything that would be sucked in by this right here could drain down into your tank, which it doesn't affect me because I've tested it. I can drain it all the way down to that thing Right there, I just broke the siphon completely. But I could drain my tank down to that thing, and there would still be enough room in my sump to contain all the water. You can see the water's raised up quite a bit since I turned the return pump off. But it's stable, it's not going anywhere. Now, up here, this U-tube held the siphon. There's still water, in here. So if I turn the return pump back on right now, it would start up normal. Everything would go back to normal levels. Everything would be fine. But if this were to lose its siphon, like I'm gonna pull it out right now, and you'll hear and see there you go. Now it's lost its siphon. So basically, if I turn the return pump back on now, it would pump all that water out of this chamber into my tank, which my tank can hold. I've tested it, like I said, numerous times. So now I have a U-tube. Now I'll show you how to prime this to get it back to siphoning the right way. So what you will need is a little piece of hose. I have this hose right here, and you would have to insert it into the U-tube all the way around to, say, about right there. I'm gonna have to set the phone down for a second and insert the U-tube back in, but I'll be right back. All right, so I'm putting the U-tube back in, which I have just done, and I'm going to turn the return pump. All right, so the hose runs down, runs into the U-tube, and you can't really see it, but it's in there. Maybe I have it a little too far in there, so I'm gonna try to pull a little bit out. So hold on one second. Okay, now I've pulled it back up, so it comes to about, 2/3 of the way through the U-tube. Now I'm going to turn the return pump back on and show you how all that works. Alright, so back over here, return pump back on. Now it'll take a second for everything. There you go. You can see it and hear it. It's blowing back in now. And basically it'll fill up until it starts to go over those little grates right there. And there it's getting ready to go over. So basically it's, like I said, it's filling up from the return pump. The sump water is starting to lower, which it will keep going down and down and down until it's back to that water level. This thing, if you look in there, I don't know if you can see it, but it's filling up right now. There's the water line. It's ready to. Now what I'll do is, it's like siphoning gas out of a car pretty much. I'll just suck on the end of this hose to get this working back. And here we go. There you go. You hear it, it's all falling through, everything's flowing right now. So now I'll just remove this little hose, I'll just pull it out, and everything will be running back to normal. So there you are. If you, like I said, if you have any questions, hit me up on Reef to Reef. I don't think I missed anything, but like you can see now, the water level is, actually it's a little low, so what's going to happen here is my auto top off is going to go off very soon, any second, once the water drops. Hopefully it's going to go off. I don't know why it's not going off right now. But anyways, that's how it works. Oh yeah, there goes the auto top off, which is kicked on. So like I said, any questions, hit me up.